Hello, welcome to SDX. I'm Ricardo and I've decided to document my journey in life for some of the goals I want to achieve. The reason I'm documenting it is because I believe it may help in providing motivation in moments where it's easier to postpone your goal, let years pass by and eventually forget it. I think this happens to a lot of us. Life happens, the routine work takes over, and we forget about our goals, postpone it, or don't have the energy for it. First thing I want to achieve is to get my health back. Why? I'm 38 years old and I actually feel getting older. Something that I didn't feel in my youth. My body isn't what it used to be. I used to have energy for days. I took many things for granted. But I've noticed that the experience I gain in life today are dull compared to the time I was fit. I gained a lot of weight. I can't run anymore. I get tired and start breathing heavy by any attempt to run, even from just walking up the stairs. I get stiff shoulders and neck, stupid small pains. To be honest, I do still feel blessed in many perspectives. My condition is not extremely bad, and I understand it could be even worse for people that are older than I am. But I see what's happening to my body and I want to change it. It's not just about walking and running, it's also about just all your senses, how you see, feel, smell, taste, and hear. When you're not fit like me, your brain processes these senses differently. It seems more dull. Most notably for me is vision at the moment. For example, when I used to look outside, my vision was very wide. I could see a lot and take a lot in of what I saw. When going to new places and traveling, you're able to have life-changing experience just by standing still and taking in what you see. My vision now is more narrow in that sense. The experience is comparable to seeing a nice picture in a magazine. The experience used to be more amazing than that. The latest wake up call was when I was in an amusement park with my family. We were in some sort of big spinning swing that takes you a bit in the air and then starts spinning around. Fast, but not too fast. To be honest, I was scared the chair or the chains would break. But other than that, kid stuff. What I noticed while we were spinning was that my vision could hardly keep up with the fast panning images. From my perspective, it felt like real life frame skipping. My brain was only rendering a few images, it seems, like 10 frames per second. Naturally, it felt bad. But the best thing I could do is to keep my eye closed and wait to the finish. When I used to play basketball, I was always aiming to improve my skills. I wasn't that great, but I did try every time to give it my best, to get better. With training, also, your vision gets better. You're able to see more in fast moments, which means you're able to react more precise when you need to, for example, steal the ball from a dribbling opponent at the right moment. The peak condition is when you already know beforehand what's going to happen and you see things sort of in slow motion and you are easily able to react in your favor. It might sound weird to some of you, but this is a rare condition which happened to me like once or twice in my life for just brief seconds. It wasn't even basketball related. In my younger days, I was never the athletic one or the fastest one. I was always a bit chubby. Luckily, I did like sports, and basketball was what I spent the most time on. My friends and I played outside almost every day during summer. This is what we did, sometimes even in winter. Later in our teens and 20s, we joined basketball clubs and played and trained there. I remember clearly in my 20s when something just clicked. We were mid pickup game and I was defending a fast point guard. He did some sort of fast crossover and passed me, like for 90% almost. I was seeing him leaving in the corner of my eye. Usually I accept it and just run after him afterwards and try to catch up. But this time I decided to see what happens if I push the movements in my ankles and legs and stop him from running forward. It was definitely a movement I wasn't used to or knew my body was able to handle. First thing the guy said was, "Watch out, this guy is fast." Something like that. I kept pushing boundaries after that moment. It became the time I was in peak condition. I was fast and didn't get tired for anything. This is the fitness I'm aiming for. This condition back then was short lived, as it usually ends when my arm gets dislocated and I have to recover for months. Maybe I'll tell about that another time. But for my first goal, we need something tangible. Even in my peak condition, there was something I was never able to do, but always dreamed of being able to do, which will be the goal of the first journey I'm documenting. I want to be able to dunk. Official basketball height, nothing fancy. Just reach over the ring and push the ball down. I'm not sure if I'm able to do this, but I'm going to train for it. And could end up like the movie title White Man Can't Jump. And I have to accept it, but I'll only accept it if I'm fit enough. First thing we need to do is get some numbers. I need a scale and measuring tape. This was SDX, and see you next time.